Hello, guys, and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Agro Dreams, where we chase our dreams through agriculture. On today's episode, I want to talk about commercial poultry farming. You might be interested in starting your own farm one day. I would like to know what are the things you need to have to run a successful commercial farm. I'm going to be using what I have. You might want to do it bigger. You might start smaller to give you a good idea of what a commercial poultry farm is. So let's get straight to it. So the number one thing you need when starting a poultry farm is land. Depending on where you are, land is acquired in different forms. And when you have plans on starting a commercial poultry farm, you need to get land that is meant for long term. So you either lease it for a long term or you buy it outright so that you protect your property. You cannot build structures and do evacuate you from the land after a few years. That wouldn't work. So when you plan on going into commercial poultry farming, make sure you have land. And when buying land, make sure the land is not waterlogged. You wouldn't want to have issues when it's raining. So get a piece of land that you know when it rains heavily, your building is safe, your animals are safe. My land here slopes gently, but it doesn't flood, so I'm safe. So when you're getting land, make sure you get a good piece of land so that you don't have to face such disasters. Number two is building. Some of the important structures you need to have when you want to operate a commercial poultry farm is number one, the henhoop. This is a 3,000 capacity structure. Room takes 1,000 birds. My dimension is 40 by 50 feet per room. 40 by 50 feet per room. That means the room is 150 feet long and 40 feet wide. This is what a 3,000 capacity structure looks like. It's important to position your building well and make sure it's well ventilated. The whole point of a structure is to protect the birds, keep them safe from sunlight and rain. So there's a roofing sheet on top to protect them from direct rain and sunlight. And there's a wire mesh fixed on both ends to give adequate ventilation. Some of the other structures you will need is a staff room and a storage room. Over there, I have my staff room where the workers stay. And here I have my storage room, one for eggs and one for feed. These are very important because you will always need to store feed, pack eggs, and you need your workers to have a place to stay right on site to attend to any activity on the farm. So these are some of the structures you may need. You might be able to compromise, but ideally, these are the things you should plan when you want to have a commercial poultry farm. Here I have an isolation pen where I keep sick birds or bad layers. I do my brooding in the same building. So at that last end, it is covered with black rubbers because that is where my brooding takes place. So I usually brood and transfer them to an empty room. Currently, I have only 1,000 birds here in my farm, and I'm getting ready for another batch of birds. That's why the place is under maintenance. When they grow, then I transfer them to the last end. So these are some of the structures you will need to put in place when you're setting up your farm. Another key thing you need on your land is your source of water. This is my storage poly tank. Luckily, I have a well. You might use Ghana water. You might have a borehole. You might buy water from the poly tanks, water sellers that move around town. And I have an overhead tank which is connected to the building. So water is never a problem with such facilities around.